This stone relief depicts the 17th day of the Kurukshetra war. Two of the most formidable warriors in the Mahabharata, Arjuna and Karna, are locked in a duel from their horse-drawn chariots. Suddenly, the earth beneath Karna gives way. His chariot wheel sinks into the mud, bringing the war machine to a dead stop. Desperate to turn the tide, Karna tries to summon a divine weapon, but his mind goes blank. He cannot recall the sacred mantras required to unleash it. Stripped of his power, he drops his heavy wooden bow into the mud and raises his empty palm. He invokes Dharma, the rules of combat, begging Arjuna for a temporary truce so he can free his wheel. Arjuna lowers his weapon, hesitating, but his charioteer, Krishna, the guardian of cosmic law, issues a shocking command. He tells Arjuna to ignore the plea and execute Karna on the spot. Why would the god of righteousness break the rules of war to demand the cold-blooded execution of a helpless, unarmed man? To understand this decision, we have to look back at Karna's life. Karna was a demigod, conceived through a divine mantra by an unmarried princess and Surya, the sun god. To avoid social ruin, his mother placed the infant in a basket and surrendered him to the river's current. He was eventually pulled from the water by a low-caste charioteer. This act of love saved his life, but it meant the divine prince would grow up as a Sutaputra, a societal outcast. This class divide followed him into adulthood. When he sought training from Dronacharya, the royal teacher, he was refused because of his birth. This rejection left him with an intense, persistent hunger for the recognition and respect he had been denied. Driven to prove his worth, Karna disguised himself as a Brahmin to study under the warrior sage Parashurama. The deception unraveled on a quiet afternoon. While Parashurama slept with his head on Karna's lap, a bee stung Karna's thigh. To avoid waking his master, Karna sat in complete silence, enduring the pain without moving a muscle. When Parashurama woke and saw the blood, he deduced that no Brahmin could endure that level of pain. He realized Karna had lied to him. Furious at the lie, Parashurama cursed his student. He declared that Karna would forget the mantras for his divine weapons at the exact moment his life depended on them. A second debt was soon added. While practicing his archery, Karna accidentally killed a Brahmin's cow. The owner cursed him to die helpless, distracted by an unmovable obstacle. The mud and the mental block were the literal activation of these old debts. But character is also defined by the alliances we choose. When the royal court mocked Karna, the prince Duryodhana offered the outcast a kingdom and royal status. That gift came with a condition. Karna pledged unquestioning loyalty to Duryodhana, often suppressing his own moral compass to satisfy the man who gave him respect. When the Pandava's wife Draupadi was publicly humiliated and disrobed in court, Karna actively joined in the verbal abuse. Later in the war, he violated the rules of combat to participate in the group assassination of Arjuna's teenage son, Abhimanyu. The victim of prejudice had chosen to become an enforcer of tyranny, trading his righteousness for social acceptance. Back in the present, Karna stands in the mud, holding the wheel and demanding the protection of martial virtue. This text records Krishna's reply. He asks Karna where his virtue was during the torment of Draupadi or the slaughter of Abhimanyu. Krishna's verdict is clear. A man who abandons virtue when it is convenient cannot claim its protection to save his own life. Arjuna fires the arrow, severing Karna's head. As he falls, a radiant light leaves his body and ascends to the sun. Karna's story is a tragic warning. It suggests that suffering injustice does not excuse moral compromise. Letting a desperate need for validation override your moral compass is a path to self-destruction.